and I could not put it down. I think it
Yeah.
was over 2 days' time. I read the whole thing, and I've always been fascinated by what went on during big wars like that. But to hear it from basically Gardner's point of view is amazing. So what did you all think?
It got me really deep emotionally, very, very deep. It affected my everyday walking around. It
I,
got
I
me
s-
so.
I so wanted their director. I gave my book to a neighbor to read, and she wasn't home today, so I couldn't get it back. And I can't remember. One of them was I can't remember the name of the original, the guy that ended up in prison. I was pulling so hard for him. Tell me he's going to
Yeah,
survive.
nobody
Please
knew.
tell me he's going to survive. No, I guess I should have known that that was.
They all starved.
Well, no, well, not quite all of them.
Not quite all of them. It's amazing.
Yeah,
The V guy got sent to another camp where he was for 20 years. He had to spend in this other camp. But he got to have a small job working with the seeds.
wait,
But
the
his
main guy did? They were going to send him
right,
to this other place, but he died before they sent him there.
Yeah.
no, oh, I didn't read that.
Yeah, yeah, I thought it just like couldn't
I
possibly have
thought
done.
everybody starved to death. I
Um,
couldn't read the book. I kept flipping in between the books. I mean, I started to read it and then I got so depressed and it was going into all this
Yeah,
torture and like back and forth. And then, yeah, I read the back of the book where everybody, like the obituaries of everybody, most of them died
yeah,
saving these seeds.
I think
I
they're
couldn't, I couldn't read the book page by page.
Not really
Maybe
most.
if I had the book, it's from the library, but maybe one day if I have the book, I will read through it. But
Did you read
it
any of the
was,
parts about what they were doing to try to keep the seeds going?
yes.
Wow.
like
The
what? Like what do you
well,
mean?
I think they lost 10 people out of 28 or whatever that were in this, and some of them were pretty sick when they and the one woman was died a couple 3 years later from complications. But the one guy, see, I don't have the books, I don't have the names. He was the potato guy, and he went out and
Yeah, that was amazing.
planting potatoes and he got knocked over by a bomb, you
Yeah,
know,
yeah, yeah. On a
and
train, he took the train anyway. Yeah,
yeah, and kept and got up and kept on well, actually, that's when he was harvesting.
yeah,
But when he was planting them out at that other place, he could see the bunkers where the Germans were going to shoot at him from. I mean, just
yeah,
amazing that
yeah.
people
I
do
don't
that.
know. Those Russians are
Mhm.
something else.
Yeah. But
Yeah,
I never thought about the fact that, yeah, potatoes, you can't really keep the potatoes for longer than a year. They have to get planted back out again.
Right.
And some of the seeds were probably just at the. I
Mm,
remember there was a discussion about maybe we should eat these because they're timed out, and
right.
the director that got put in charge after the main guy was gone, he said no.
Here it is.
He said the dates are just a guess of how long. I mean, they might still be good, and we'd be losing seeds. And these are people who knew that they went on an expedition to Chile to uh, uh, godforsaken place, someplace out in the boonies, where somebody said that somebody was growing something still that used to be grown years and years ago, and they got samples of it. And so they knew that if we eat these, there may never be another one of these in the world anywhere. And that's a heck of a
sacrifice. Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
The potato
yeah.
man, he lived to 1991.
Did he
The one
really,
guy
the
did.
potato
Yeah,
guy? Yeah, wow.
was that him? Yeah, I read the obituary. Somebody
The
lived
one that
a
got
long
hit by
time.
the bomb when he was harvesting potatoes. Yeah.
I'm sorry that I don't have the book because I wanted to go get it. I was having fun reading the names and trying to do my mom and dad's Russian accent,
Yeah,
and
yeah, me
just
too. Me too. Because I'm like, I could read that word. I could read his name.
just read. It's like some of the botanical names, right? You just read past them. It's like Mr. Mixoplixel and
Yeah,
Superman comic. I used to just read
yeah.
past Mr.
You have to be
Mixoplixel.
Russian or Polish or yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't think I'd be able to read the book like that. Was it Deborah? Yeah, and I skipped one whole chapter, and then I worked my way kind of glancing at it from the back and to where, and I wanted to find out what happened to Vavilov.
Uh,
So found out where that chapter is. And then I think I went back even one more chapter, but after the first year of the famine, and I read the rest of the book.
yeah,
So so I did skip a little bit, and
pieces
I
back.
really thought I was gonna put the book down. I was like, I can't read this.
Again,
Yeah, me
this
too.
topic
Me
is
too.
too, yeah,
But
it's too
but I
devastating.
was so, yeah, it was so fascinating. Um, and you know that some of them do make it, and you wonder what happened to them. So yeah, I kind of started back in the book.
Yeah. And no matter what, they still blame them for everything because they killed his one son and they took him on a journey up in the mountains and he was killed by one of the officers.
Ah, right. Yep. They, well, that whole thing, it's scary because of right now, where we're at right now with people in power using power awfully. And I mean, my family's from Russia, so I heard about the whole Stalin era.
Ah,
My relatives ran during the Bolshevik Revolution, so they weren't there for Stalin, but they talked a lot about it because the people back home were back home.
Mhm.
And they couldn't learn anything from they couldn't hear anything from anybody. And you read about how they clamped down. Well, like the fact that Stalin said, we're not sending them anything. What do you mean you're not sending them anything? You're not going to send them anything? And then when the people were leaving at the end and some of the people in power still looked healthy and plump and there's all these starving and to have to kill your pets because you can't feed them or because you need to eat them
yeah,
Yeah.
and to give your pet to the neighbor so that the neighbor so you wouldn't have to kill your oh god
yeah,
Yeah, I couldn't. That's why I
What I
couldn't read
skipped.
the book page by page. I had to keep flipping through it.
yeah
Yeah,
Yeah.
because it hit home at home. Because
yeah
my relatives were from Russia. My grandfather came on a boat from Russia, and um, I found paperwork, and he came here and then sent money back for my grandmother to come, and then people who had come, and then he worked to help them. Yeah, it hit home. I didn't like it.
that's the way they did it. My grandfather brought a whole bunch of people too,
Yeah.
and a lot of them had the idea that they were going to be able to go back home afterwards.
Mhm.
And I know my grandfather was very bitter because he never got to go back home again.
Mm.
But I know about seed storage places now. I didn't realize that they were saving seed back then, or what a big difference it made. What were they saying at the end, that they were getting 3 times as much wheat out of a field with the
Yeah.
seed that they'd come up with? I mean, that's phenomenal that they were able to make those big jumps like that, and awful that somebody could so slam someone's reputation and name that they get them taken away and all the good stuff that they were doing ruined. Anyway,
Politics.
yeah. So if nobody has anything else to say about the book, I'll tell you I've got 2 more book names that I got the
Yeah.
other day. It's gotten to where when I see somebody reading a book, I go, "What are you reading?" And
I think the book was fascinating, but I was curious when they were eating the seeds. Well, they were eating seeds all the way through, but is the nutritional value of a seed of a particular plant more beneficial than the nutritional value of another seed? Or is a seed is a seed is a seed, and that's just
I think that some seed is more nutritious than other seed, which is why they're coming up with the better rice varieties that they're coming up with now are not just better able to grow in different environments, but have higher protein value or something. But I don't know whether any of those that they didn't seem to mention that. They were looking more for higher yields,
right.
better cropping,
Yeah.
and things that could handle the different kinds of weather that they were going to run into in like in the really cold places toward the Arctic and the dry dusty places down toward the What would
Well,
that be? Ear
we
poop?
know that
There-
legumes that you need, like legumes have the some of the amino acids that corn doesn't have. Like for vegetarians, you have to balance your
Yeah.
which seeds you're
Yeah,
eating.
but would a legume seed have
Yeah, it
more
would
or
be.
less nutritional value than I don't know, a corn seed?
Yeah, I think it
Yeah,
would have the same different I might get it would I think it would have the same differences as the plant
yeah.
to
Are
a
Well,
there,
degree anyway.
when I was when Steve was recovering,
Well, and we eat the seeds. We eat that's what we eat, the
right?
corn
That's what we're
seeds and
eating.
the pea seeds if you're eating peas.
Yeah.
Um,
So if you look
so
up
yeah, they
plant
would be
on,
different, have
yeah,
different, I don't know
are
if
there
one would be
schools?
more
Are there
nutritional, but they would complete each other. They would all be lacking something and
yeah,
have different things,
right.
different.
Are
To
there
this
schools
day,
in the
they
country
still
now that are
live.
in our country, in the
I
United
don't get
States, that are
that.
studying this kind of thing?
Oh yeah, yeah. We have the USDA is working with different. They have connect. They have their own seed bank, which is in Colorado. They have their own seed bank and farms that they plant things out on to keep them going. But they also have connections with the seed banks in Norway and in Chile and the other places that have seed. I know when Steve was recovering from his heart surgery and I was trying to get him to learn to eat better, I made a spreadsheet and put all the foods that we were on, ingredient by ingredient, off of the USDA site, which they've changed now. It's like,
Could change it.
but you could go to the USDA site and you could take corn and say corn kernels, or peas with pod, peas with just the pea, and it tells you how many grams per ounce of the food, how many grams of protein, how many grams of fat, how many grams of carbohydrate for each one, and they were very different. And I would put them in the spreadsheet when we were cooking something, paste in the different ingredients to see if at the bottom line we got the right mix that he was supposed to be eating. At one point, I took it back. I took my spreadsheet in and sat down with the nurse nutritionist at the hospital. I said, "You guys told me to do this and this and this, but I'm finding out that it's mathematically impossible to do that." And she looked and she went, "Oh, you're right. We can't do this." But I had been blowing my mind over. No matter what you plug in here, I can't get the percentages of carbohydrates to fats be the number that they told me to get to or whatever. So yeah, I think each one is different, but at least on the USDA site, which I thought was great back then to be able to get that information, they didn't have different varieties of peas and corn. They did have fresh versus store canned versus frozen. They had peas in the shell. They had apple with peel, without peel, because those things made a difference. But I don't know where you'd find out. But I do know that that's been the big rallying cry from the seed companies, is that, look, we're saving the world. We're making these more nutritious seeds available to people, but they're also making seeds that are all patented, so nobody can save the seeds themselves,
Right, yeah.
and are having to pay more money to be able to plant the things in the first place. And some of them even require certain chemicals to be applied to them, which I think it's undoing all the good of this stuff.
Is this the Monsanto thing?
Monsanto has a seed company, but actually most of the chemical companies have a seed company as well.
Kind of like Monsanto, only like they're all branching off, and so
Branching off. Well, they
like
can.
Monsanto, you can't grow Monsanto seeds.
Oh,
You
right.
can't grow that fruit or vegetable from Monsanto. So now are there other companies who
They
are
are.
doing
They're
the
all.
same thing? And
Yes.
you have to like be a farmer and lease your land to these companies. Because I go up north and I see signs like this is Monsanto and this is
And
it's not like real farmers anymore.
it is real farmers, but they sign an agreement and they get the seed and they can't keep the seed. They have to agree to not keep the seed
Yeah.
and not grow from the seed.
Yeah.
And all of the seed companies have, not the seed companies, but the seed companies have been consolidated to where they now have pesticide companies that are part of the
Yeah.
of their umbrella group too. It's actually pretty scary when I went.
It's all about the money, yeah?
Yeah, it's all about the money. Well, at least in the big companies is. There are
Yeah.
companies that are making non-patented seed plant variety improvements and making them available, but we don't hear too much about them. And some of them, what with USAID getting defunded, I think some of those are in jeopardy now too, because some of those projects were things that were being subsidized by various governments who are saying, yeah, we should do this. Yeah.
Well, and then too, Janet, what we learned in the light eaters, these, plants, they have to communicate in order to boost their immune system or warn other plants
Right.
of dangers. And these new plants don't do that. They don't speak the same language, or maybe any language. I don't know, but makes it even scarier, unfortunately.
It does make it scary. And actually, the whole current agricultural scheme where we grow, I've driven through Iowa, and it's mind-boggling. It's just miles and miles and miles and miles of corn, and they used to switch off, they rotate crops, corn, soybean, pumpkins, where they'd go between different families, and they're not doing that anymore. So, yeah, or at least the big companies aren't doing that anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All corn. I mean, I went to the farmer's market up north and $1.75 for an ear of corn. Are you kidding me? Yeah.
Wow.
And also here in Royal Oak, the market in Royal Oak, $1.75 for 1 ear.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
I mean,
crazy.
$1 is like the norm now, but sometimes you could get 3 for $2.
Yeah.
But you're not sure what you're getting.
Well, I know that the one person that I know who's got a farm is reeling from the cost of the fertilizers went up so much. But I said, doesn't that affect next year's crop? He said, no, it's affecting this year's crop because we borrowed money to plant this stuff this year. And against that money, I purchased the fertilizer, so it's, I'm glad I'm not a farmer. There was a time when I thought that would be cool to be a farmer.
Yeah, me too.
I don't think so anymore.
So you guys, I know it's kind of off topic a little bit, but I don't know is anybody sprouting? Because I know that these greens are grown in water and air. And I know where they come from. Now, I don't know where the seed comes from necessarily, but it's fresh. And I mean, I can grow this, plate of food for pennies.
Yeah.
And it takes 3 to 5 days, and it's fun. And like these tall ones here, they are radish. And boy, when you taste this, you can tell that's a radish.
Radish, yeah.
Cool.
So, it's just kind of a fun thing, and it feels safer whether it is or not.
It is. I think it is safer as long as you don't let them sit out in the warmth. I sprout in a jar.
Uh-huh. I've done it.
Yeah, and it just as long as you rinse them off regularly so that they don't acquire any of the slime that can build up on
Right. I set an alarm on my phone twice a day, and I rinse my sprouts twice a day, and I have the jars as well as this little kit here, and I love it, you guys. And they say that it is so much more nutrient dense to eat this little seed with this sprout than even eating a full broccoli or whatever. So I just rotate. I've got about 8 different kinds of seeds, and I just rotate, every time and whatever.
Great.
They, you
This is
said
great.
they say. Who's they that says that?
So, well, yeah, the internet, but everywhere that I have researched sprouting, they say
Okay.
that
Just as long as
it
it's not
is.
the wrapper on the.
It
Yeah,
sounds
no.
better than going to the store and wondering if, you're getting some lettuce that some farmers had nowhere to go except on the lettuce.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like, are you growing that in the sun, in the shade?
You don't
Do you have grow lights? How are you growing those sprouts?
to get them to sprout. You don't have to. I just do it next to the kitchen sink, and
Yep.
it's got no particular light at all because you're going to eat them within a day or so after they
Within-
sprout. And
Then okay, I don't know how that works. Okay,
So-
that sounds good.
Yeah, so it's my kit is got holes in the bottom, and I do a piece of paper towel because some of the seeds are so tiny they would fall through.
true, yeah.
So, and when they're just seeds, I still, I rinse them twice a day. And like Janet, I set them right on my sink. And the first 3 days, actually, I grow them covered, and because to mimic being underground. And then as soon as I get true leaves, I pull the cover off and then give them about 2 more days. And then we pull out and put them in sandwiches and salads and to top our soups.
Good.
And it doesn't matter however you eat them,
Yeah.
you know.
Great, that's good to
So-
know.
Thanks,
Yeah.
guys. I just wanted to mention it because it's kind of a
Good
new
information.
fun
I think
thing.
that's fantastic to
Yeah.
And this little kit, Burpee makes this little kit. There's 2 more layers to this. Although mine always gets so tall, I can't do that. So I just do one at a time. And then when I get almost done eating this tray, which is about 3 days worth for us or 2 days, whatever, then I'll start another set. And those will be in the dark. And I do have the jars as well, but I loaned them out to somebody because they wanted to try it. So Janet, do you do all seeds in the jar? Because I've only done mung beans.
I've done beans and corn, and I did parsley one year
Oh, wow.
because I could soak them that way. What else did we?
Right.
I haven't been to. I did radish, and Steve says he doesn't like the taste of radish. So what else?
Yeah,
have
they're
we
strong.
sprouted?
They're
but
strong.
beans are the big thing for us. It's so easy to do, and they and we like to throw them in the stir fries and stuff as well as eat them
Yep.
fresh. So, yeah.
Yeah, because that's what a mung bean is. It's those bean sprouts from Chinese food.
Right. But I've done it with all kinds of beans. It's kind of whatever beans we've got. Yeah.
Huh.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
cool.
Mm-hmm.
I figured, what does it matter? It's just another kind of bean. Yeah. And I had a box full of seeds from the those you planted half the package of seed and you kept the rest of the seed from the corn or whatever. I just started doing the seed that I had in the box. I said I might just well be using these for something. So we've eaten kind of anything that's in the garden and sprouts at one time or another.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah,
Yeah, feels healthy.
very cool.
When I worked in the restaurant, they would get sunflower sprouts.
Ooh, sunflower sprouts. Those
Yeah.
would be,
That's an idea.
chunky little things. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, some of the sprouts I didn't like the feel of. I wondered whether, because sunflower, there's the seed, the leaf has a little bit of fuzz on it. I wonder if that'd be one of the ones that I would say, I'm not sure I like this. I like the smoother leaves better than the fuzzier leaves. Because I sprouted pumpkins one time, and I decided that was not one of the ones I wanted to do again.
I hadn't thought about sprouts in a long time. I used to do that with a jar, just the mung beans and the.
Yeah,
Some
hard
little
to remember when you go back over stuff. Yeah, so many things like sourdough starter. My daughter-in-law sent me some sourdough starter. I went, oh no, we did this already. I'm not circling back to the sourdough starter thing. But having to remember to feed this sourdough starter regularly and use it regularly, we just didn't have enough things that we were making with the sourdough starter. My brother brought sourdough starter. He was living in San Francisco area, and he brought us the real sourdough starter, and he put it in his luggage on the plane, and it exploded inside his bag because of the change of pressure. Scraping sourdough starter off all of his clothes and stuff.
Well, and I will say this about sourdough starter. I mean, I've had mine in my fridge now for probably 2 months, and I haven't touched it. And every once in a while I pull it out, I stir it around because the hooch, that liquid gets on top.
Yeah.
And if I don't have time to feed it, I throw it right back in. It is
I never heard that you could put it in the fridge. I was just
Oh my
constantly
God,
feeling-
Oh
You
yeah.
guys, you can even
Yeah, my
freeze
son
it.
puts his in the fridge.
I
Yeah.
felt I was chained to it.
No, and that's the thing. And the other thing that I do with my bread is I use my sourdough starter and the 4 ingredients, salt and flour and water and whatever, and then I will mix it all together and put it in a tall container, let it for 4 hours grow overnight. If I'm going to bed, I throw it in the fridge, it'll still grow. And then that whole next 2 weeks, I have bread dough that I can just grab. Ray and I don't eat a whole lot of bread, so I'll make just a small loaf.
Uh-huh.
And that dough just sits in the fridge waiting for me. And that is, you don't even have to use sourdough. You can just do regular bread. But that is called breadin5.com. They are these two people, she's French and he's not. And, they share their master recipe, everything, breadin5.com. You guys, it is the easiest way to do fresh bread, I'm telling you. And you can use sourdough or not.
Is 5 spelled out, or is it the number 5?
It is, I think, the number 5. It's been a long time since I've been on their website. I have their book or they have multiple books, and it is the easiest thing ever, you guys, honest to God.
That's
And
cool.
just skip the sourdough.
There's nothing so good as fresh made bread.
Dude,
Oh my God.
Yes. Yeah.
When my mom used to make all her own bread, and I could eat half a loaf of bread, no problem.
Yeah.
Come
Yes.
home and she had all the whole wheats and the whole rye, and she made this pumpernickel, dark pumpernickel, Russian pumpernickel that I keep trying to. Oh, it was good.
I love Russian pumpernickel bread.
Which is reminding me stuff.
Yeah. I lost my connection.
It's we heard you. We did hear you. Yeah, and it's got to be the right pumpernickel. It's got to be moist and dark and heavy. Then I say, okay, I'm going to try this. But too many pumpernickels, I pick them up and they feel just like other bread. I go, no, I'm not even going to try that. That reminds me of something from the book that I thought was pretty cool. Once the Leningrad people made it through the first winter, then that whole group went out, and it sounded kind of like Master Gardener. They told 587 different people where they could put their. They had numbers for how many people they coached on where they could grow a garden, and others that they were coaching on what wild plants and weeds were growing that you could do something with or you shouldn't do something with. And I thought, this sounds just like Master Gardener. They're keeping all their record of just how valuable we were and all the things they realized that they could do. The whole rat situation. Whoa. And they brought a cat. Did they bring a cat in?
Yeah. There's one point where they brought these cats that were supposed to.
Yeah, I have never thought of cats against rats. Cats against mice yet, but I think of dogs against cats. I mean, rats get to be really big.
So big.
Yeah.
The cat's hungry enough. Eat it.
Yeah. Which I guess those cats would be.
Yeah.
Okay, I heard about a couple new books on Saturday. One was, where are you? Here. Topics. No, not topics. Where's my books?
Find my pen.
There it is. One is called The Sound of a Wild Snail Eating. The author is bedridden by a mysterious neurological illness. Given a potted violet, it has a tiny woodland snail in it, and the snail becomes her companion, leading to a meditation on nature, patience, and survival. And then another one that I just heard about on Saturday is The Worst Hard Time, The Untold True Stories of Those Who Survived the Great American Dust Bowl, detailing the daily fight against the dust storms and the environmental collapse. I talked to a woman in Minnesota when I checked in late one night at a hotel when I was doing a talk, and she was working the desk and was an older woman, and I just got to talking to her. I said, so do you always work nights? She said, well, my husband has dementia, but he sleeps soundly at night, so I know I can work at night, so I do this. So I stayed up and we talked longer, and she'd grown up in North Dakota during the Dust Bowl days, and her stories were just riveting. I was like, it didn't matter that I wasn't going to bed. I just wanted to hear more about what happened. But maybe that would be too much of a downer after hearing about Leningrad during a siege.
Take it.
Yeah.
Take it.
I don't know.
Yeah. I can also just pull a number and see what comes up.
I read that one, about the wild snail eating. I don't. It's been a long time. I like the book, but
It said that it won some awards or whatever, so it sounded like it might be okay.
I don't remember too much about
There's
it.
also the sugar books. Sugar, the World Corrupted, Sugar Changed the World. I had a client who was very into the whole bit with how terrible sugar was and how it had changed things and caused the witch trials and all kinds of things. So that might be kind of
Ooh.
interesting. Um,
And then you also had like the garden spells or something like that, right? Just something lighter.
I'm looking for, okay, so I'm gonna go through and there are 50 of them, but some of them we didn't. Okay, there's the Brother Cadfael ones, Rock Garden, Garden Spells, yes, novel of two sisters who have in common a childhood garden with an enchanted apple tree. That sounds like that could be a different kind of thing, right?
Yes.
That sounds fun.
Yeah.
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 Who's the author?
I don't want to be
The
depressed
author is
anymore.
Sarah Addison, Addison. If somebody wants to look up what year it is, I didn't write down what year it is on the list here. There's the Plant Messiah. It's a Kew Gardens horticulturalist expeditions and his record of the places they went in search of rare and endangered plants, which sounded kind of cool.
What's the book Addison wrote?
Sarah Addison, Sarah includes an H, and it is Garden Spells. And it's a novel, but shoot, our lives.
Garden spells. Let's see what.
First in a series.
First in the series, really?
Garden Spells. It's by the right author. Let me think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Book number 1 in the Waverly Family series.
Well, good. So if it's a good novel, then it's one that would lead, people could read other stuff. I like
Yeah.
being able to follow along the way. I'm also looking at Finding the Mother Tree. I don't know if you've read that one by Suzanne Simard. This goes back to the 70s when they first figured out, and she was one of the ones that was primary in figuring out these plants were talking to each other.
Nah.
And unfortunately, she was a woman in a man's field. The foresters were all dead set against doing anything different than what they'd done.
Of course.
Yeah,
2021 book, Suzanne Simard.
yeah, Finding the Mother Tree. That one was very cool. I wouldn't mind reading that one again.
And who was the author on that?
Suzanne with a Z, Simard, Simard.
Thank you, smart. Yeah.
I will say that while I was reading it, there were a couple places in the book where I went, get over it already, because you could tell that she was very bitter about how the male cadre treated everything that she came up with. And at a couple points I went, just enough, okay, I know it was tough. Just tell us more about the trees.
I get it.
Okay. Oh.
And I think we'll save Silent Spring. I don't know if you've read it, but I would read that again in a minute. But that's going to be a downer right now.
No, the dog upstairs just died. I'm sad.
Wait. Is this real? Are we talking about?
Yeah. No, my neighbor's dog just died. And I'm really sad, and I don't want to read anything sad anymore.
No. Oh, I can't read sad stuff about animals anyway. I can't remember.
No. Yeah.
No.
They made a movie about one. I think it was a Great Dane, and I thought, why would I see this movie? I couldn't even handle the book.
No.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
get it. No.
Even the ones that are supposed to be good, like the one about the dog being reincarnated. What was that called? The Dog's Life.
That also The Art of Racing in the Rain. That is about a dog, but it's handled beautifully.
It is, but I still cried.
You're supposed to
And
cry at
I'm
that
still
one.
crying.
I know.
I know the dog upstairs because Sassy hates dogs. But I loved this dog. He was so kind and sweet. And well, Sassy's getting better, but yeah.
Yeah,
Like
so
an
sorry.
animal, it's so sad. And I know Deb is blocking her ears right now because I remember turning around and like we cannot even leave anything on the road without her stopping and taking care of it. Right, Deb?
Yes,
Yeah,
this is Deb Hall that Margie's talking about.
Yeah.
Deb and I were on our way to Philadelphia, I think is where we were going, and we were on one of those big loop arounds in the Cloverleaf, getting onto the toll road, And in the middle, in all the grassy stuff in the middle of the clover leaf, there was a cat walking by, and Deb wanted to stop and pick up the cat. I said, I'm not picking up a cat and taking a cat to Philadelphia with us. Besides, it could be somebody's cat, for crying out loud. Yeah.
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 Okay, so let's go to something more like
Okay, something else that's light is the Gardener's Year. This is an old book. Have you ever heard the Gardener's? I think we might have talked about it recently. The Gardener's poem. Please God, let a little bit of rain fall every day. Make it between 3 and 5 in the morning. Be gentle. And Carol Capek wrote that poem, and he wrote the Gardener's Year. It's a bunch of observations on gardening, and it's a classic. I can't imagine that it's not still out there. It'd be like Sand County Almanac, which is another one that we should read.
I'd read that again in a minute.
In a minute, yeah. Much more so than on Walden Pond. On Walden Pond drove me crazy. It's like you are a boring person. Thoreau. But Leo Aldepold in Sand County Almanac, I just felt like I was out there with him and the family.
He is so
restoring this
beautiful.
property. Yeah.
Who wrote the
Let's see.
Gardener's Year that you're talking about?
The Gardener's Year is Carol Capek, and it's Carol Karel Capek. He's Czech
Okay.
or Hungarian. Okay, so let me write down, because I've been going through here and not marking what I just said. Okay, does anybody remember anything I just said? And we'll put them in a hat and pull one of them.
Okay, garden spells.
Garden spells, okay.
The Gardener's Year.
Gardener's Year.
The Worst Hard Time.
The snail book.
Yeah.
Okay, the snail.
Finding
Yeah,
the mother
kind of
tree.
Wild snail eating or
Finding the
something.
mother tree, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
Something about sugar.
Yeah, sugar
and the sugar.
changing the world.
Okay, that's enough. That's 6 of them. I can put six in a hat here, and I'm putting them in these numbers. Garden spells is 1, Gardener's Year is 2, Worst Hard Time is 3, the snail book is 4, and finding the mother tree is 5, and 6 is the sugar book. And do I have 6 things here? Probably we have 6 things here. My desk is a total disaster. I've been going through old photo albums, scanning the pictures from the photo albums, so that I don't have to keep the albums anymore, and sending pictures to people.
How nauseous are you doing that? I get nauseous doing that.
Nauseous what? Scanning things or?
Going through pictures and figuring it out who gets to get what picture and all the pictures I took, and yeah, I get nauseous.
I don't have any. I don't get nauseous or anything doing it. It's just a big job because Stephen never knew when to stop taking pictures. And I never knew when to throw pictures away.
Yeah,
I have both. I am both people.
Yeah, so I have
Me
we
too.
started off with 35 big photo albums, and I'm down to 28 now.
All right.
And I just after I scan them, then I just sit and cut them up, and I make piles. And here, I'll send these to this person. And most of the people have told me, oh, this is fun getting them, so it's worth doing it for me if it's fun for people getting them. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
I had a friend from junior high send me a picture from back then. That was fun.
Yeah, that's cool. I mean, you see things and you go, did we used to look like that?
Yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
3, 4, 5, 6. There's 6 of them. Okay. All right, where am I going to put them so that I don't see them? Okay, into this bag. Yes.
Isn't she adorable?
Yeah.
Like who
She's the
cares?
best.
No, nobody thinks Janet's gonna cheat ever
Yeah,
about
really, I
anything.
know.
And I picked number 1. Okay, that's the garden spells.
Oh, yay, yay.
Okay, we shall do garden spells for next time.
Okay.
Okay.
Great.
And I will have Steve.
Madison.
And I'm going to have Steve teach me how to send out the multiple things that we send out. and I'm going to send out the next one because I don't think I can trust him anyway. He is mildly dyslexic, but how he got September's number into now, and now do I have to make a new meeting for September, or will this number still be there in September? I don't know.
Start new.
Okay.
Start
right.
new. Yeah.
Have a good night, Janet.
Okay.
Is it time to go? Yeah, go rest.
And I'm sorry, we said Garden Spells and that author again one more time. I'm sorry.
Garden Spells, and the author was, I think, Sarah
Sarah
Addison.
Addison.
Sarah
That
Addison.
popped right
Okay.
up in the Detroit catalog with the book right on top. That never happened.
Oh, really?
2007, available one. Okay, I'm going to pick it up at my local library.
Oh, that's great. Okay, Garden Spells. All right.
Okay, cool.
Talk to you guys
Thank
later.
you.
All right,
Bye-bye.
bye, you guys. Thank you.
Bye now.